Hi, this is author Mike, author of Unmasked, Kane Hodder's official biography. I'm with Sean Evans, and we're back to the movies.
Michael Aloisi, author of the Kane Hodder true life story Unmasked, joins us here tonight on Back to the Movies. How are you, Mike?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you very much. So firstly, I want to thank you for my signed copy of Unmasked.
Sure.
I got to tell you, man, Unmasked is one of the most in-depth and most gripping books I've ever read in my entire life. I've never enjoyed a book so much, and that's the God's honest truth.
Cool, thank you.
How did Unmasked start, and who got in touch with who?
Basically, I've been writing for a long time, and I was taking a break from writing one day, and I started watching a movie, and it happened to be one of Kane's. It was Ed Gein, and as I was watching the movie, I was like, I really want to read his biography. So I went online and I looked it up, and when I realized he didn't have one, I wrote up a proposal and I sent it to him. And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, it was like, because of the time difference, because he's in LA and I'm in Massachusetts, and it was like 10:30 at night, and my phone rings, and I answer it, and he's like, Mike, this is Kane Hodder. And I was like, okay. I was like, I was thinking it was like my brother doing a joke or something. And it was Kane, and he wanted to talk, and so we started talking back and forth for a while. He had offers from bigger publishers for a long time, but he was really worried that they would censor what he wanted to say in his voice and stuff, and because there's some other celebrity biographies out there, they're very like sanitized and kind of, don't go in depth as much, and kind of, would censor his swears and stuff. So after talking for like 2 months back and forth, he agreed to do it, and we started writing the book from there.
That's awesome. Now, for the last few months, you have been touring conventions with the book. Now, what has been the feedback from the public so far?
It was great. I mean, Kane and I, when it first came out, we did almost 6 months, and we did like 5 countries and about 30 cities and stuff. And I was shocked that almost every single appearance there was a huge turnout, just like huge line for Kane and stuff, and out in the rain and the cold and all different stuff. So it's been really positive.
Fantastic. Now, as an author, what is the toughest thing about writing a book, in your opinion, especially one about such a high-profile guy such as Kane Hodder?
The hardest part is capturing who they are in the writing, like, because you don't want it to sound like someone else is telling the story. With Kane's, I wrote it in first person as if he's telling the story. So I had to spend a lot of time with him to see how he acts and, who he is as a person and stuff. So it took a good almost a year of me and him on movie sets doing ghost hunts and going to conventions and stuff before I really got that voice from him. And I think that's kind of the hardest part, is catching, how they speak, how they talk and stuff, and how they would say a certain thing and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, from reading the book personally, I mean, Kane, he seems like a very daring kind of guy, like sort of a crazy sort of guy, but a nice sort of guy at the same time. So it's hard to convey, but I feel as though you did a pretty good job with that. So congratulations. Now, Unmasked isn't the only book about Kane Hodder that you've written. I mean, there's a paperback book called The Killer and I, which documents the process of writing the book itself and the adventures that you've had with Kane. That's soon to be turned into a web series.
Yep.
Can you tell us a bit about the web series, and when will it be released? Because it looks amazing.
Thanks. Basically, as we were, what I was just saying a minute ago, traveling around, and I was spending time with him on movies and this and that, I started writing a blog to keep up the fans, and all of a sudden, the blog was read in over 50 countries a week, like thousands of times. So we were like, let's release this as a book. And so we released it as a book, and then it even became more popular. So while we were on the book tour, we filmed our whole entire adventures. And basically, in kind of each city and town we went to, we tried to find something cool to do. Like in Las Vegas, we went and shot machine guns. And we went to Colorado, went to the Stanley Hotel and stayed there for a week and did ghost hunts. We went and drove dune buggies. We visited old castles in Germany and all kinds of crazy stuff. So we filmed all that, and it's being edited right now. I think we're going to have probably about 13 or 14 episodes. And we're not sure where it's going to be released yet. We have a bunch of interest, but we're kind of waiting to finish the editing up and stuff. So hopefully we'll find a home for it soon and it'll be out.
Fantastic. Now, with you saying there, you fired live machine guns. I mean, on the trailer, we saw you they're going to feed a live lion, which is absolutely crazy. I mean,
Yes, that was scary.
now in the trailer, it seems as though Kane's giving you a pretty tough time. Now, along the journey, what was the standout event for you on this road trip with Kane?
Um, Kane always gives me a tough time about everything. But I think the lions actually was probably one of the most exciting things because hand feeding lions and tigers is not something you usually do in normal life. And it was awesome because it was the only time I've ever seen Kane get slightly scared when we had a 12-foot tiger, when he was stand up in his back paws, jump up and grab the cage and roar like inches from our face. The first time Kane ever went, whoa. So that was kind of fun to see Kane get a little nervous, but it was also amazing to feed these things. Then we got to go in cages with like mountain lions and some other things and actually pet them and stuff, which was really crazy. With they have these gigantic heads and stuff, and you're petting them, and like I'm just like, please don't bite me, So that was really kind of one of the best parts of the tour.
That sounds mental. Now, are you an adrenaline junkie yourself, Michael, or has Kane transformed you into this crazy go-getter since you've started hanging around with him?
I think I'm a reluctant adrenaline person. Like I don't want to do it. I get nervous to do it, and then I freak out. But then after I do it, I love the fact that I did it. So it's kind of like I need Kane to kind of push me to do a lot of the stuff and everything. So kind of a reluctant one.
Yeah, let's just hope he doesn't get you into like doing free falls or hanging from a helicopter anytime soon.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'll have a heart attack before that happens. So.
Now the book itself goes into utmost detail. Now, how long did you and Kane spend trying to get as many accurate details down as possible? You said you spent over a year getting to know him, but how about getting Kane's personality in writing? It must have been really hard to convey his perspective on things, and then you transferring it into first person. Were there any barriers at all?
There was some to where a lot of the stuff in the book Kane never told anybody. So there was a long period of him getting to trust me to kind of open up and tell these stories. And like there was a lot of stuff he didn't want to talk about, like his OCD with the burn. He never told the true story of his burn until the book. And after a while, once we got over that hump and he trusted me and stuff, he kind of like let go of everything and let everything out and talked about everything in the book. And that was kind of one of the bigger hurdles to get him to open up and stuff. So it was like after that year or stuff, he trusted me. And then the writing process itself actually went pretty quick. But I still had to kind of push to get a little bit of more information out of him to kind of go a little bit deeper and stuff. But it ended up working out.
Awesome. Now you're also writing a book called Savini and Me, which documents the life of Hollywood horror effects artist Tom Savini. Now, with various documents that can be found online, is it safe to say the book writing is underway, and when can we see this in stores?
Yeah, the Savini and Me is basically kind of like The Killer and I. It's just updating his fans about what's going on with the book and my adventures with Tom, though they're not as crazy as Kane, but they're fun. But the book is underway. I've written the first draft. Tom now has it, and he's kind of going through it himself because, unlike Kane, Tom's actually a writer. So he's kind of going to go through it and kind of form how he wants it to go. We're kind of trying to decide if we want to do a little bit of third person to where it's like a narrator and then interjecting parts of him where it's his voice and stuff talking about it. So we're kind of in that phase where we're kind of forming it and stuff. As for a release date, we're not really sure. We kind of want to wait until it's completely finished and then set a release date because with Kane's book, we set a release date before it was finished, so we ended up scrambling really, really hard and pulling all-nighters to kind of finish it and get the book out. So we kind of want to have a little bit more breathing room and stuff. Obviously, an October release would make more sense, which would be great because we can, do a lot more appearances at haunted houses and different events. But as of now, I'm not really sure. It'll either be this fall or probably in the spring next year.
Okay, no problem. Now, do you feel as though the current success of Unmasked has propelled you into this whirlwind of horror writing? I mean, first minute you're working with horror legend Kane Hodder. Now you're working with Tom Savini. What's next in the future, do you think?
I don't know. It's really weird because I went basically from, I was an established writer, but all of a sudden I went from being a writer to in this world of horror to where, I'm working with Kane, I'm working with Tom. I have, in my phone contacts, I have like 50 different people that I grew up watching in my phone, and it's like I know all the people now, so it's kind of a really fun and interesting thing to go from a fan to be working with these people. I kind of want to get back to my fiction a little bit after Tom, take a little break and go back to fiction, and then I have a few people I'm kind of feeling out to do their biography next, but I can't say who they are yet. But there'll probably be another horror person that I'll do next.
Adam Green. Sorry, I accidentally just
Well, he's still pretty young. So.
He is young, but he's got a big story to tell.
Yeah. Plus, he's crazy busy with all the stuff that he does and stuff. I don't know how he does it, because I was on Kane and I got to go on the set of Holliston when he was doing his TV show like a year ago, and just watching him run around made me dizzy, because not only was he acting in the show, he was directing the show, producing the show, and working on other stuff at the same time. So it's insane. So he's a busy guy.
He's definitely a busy guy, especially with Hatchet 3 coming out very soon. Yep. So I'm sure he's going to a lot on his work.
The premiere is tonight. Kane and all the stars are going to the premiere tonight.
Hey, I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me. I'll definitely try and check that out somewhere on the net. Well, that just about sums it up for me, Michael. I mean, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. I mean, you are officially the first author we've ever had on the show, which is
very cool.
So it's awesome to have such a stunning piece of literature to reveal Unmasked, really. I mean, it's an honor to have you on the show. I look forward to the Reb series, and who knows, when it comes out, maybe we can have you back on the show to talk all about it.
That'd be great.
All the best, Michael, and thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thanks a lot, man.
Jesus Christ. Fucking idiot.
Ready? One. Hillbilly butt blamming.
Wait, what my fear state?